Rhode Island recently made history by becoming the third state in the country to pass paid family medical leave. And proudly, we're the first to include job security for workers who need to take leave when they have a sick family member or a new child at home. My question to the candidates is, do you support policies like this that are good for the economy, good for women, and good for families like my own?
I absolutely do support a lot of those policies that provide flexibility to people in the workforce. In fact, during my time as mayor of Cranston, we have provided that flexibility, particularly with respect to federal labor laws, to provide both men and women, particularly in the area where they have had more child, that flexibility to take the time to spend, to create that family bond with the children. And we have to continue to encourage families that have any type of issues, not only with child care, but also with other type of family issues that come up, because we're with an increasing reliance upon other family members, like our parents that become sick, or any other children issues that become sick. Parents need that flexibility, and that's one of the things I've committed to in Cranston, and I commit to providing that flexibility in the workforce as government.
Thank you. Todd?
This year, Central Falls passed the Gender Equality Workplace Ordinance, and I think that would be a great application to the statewide level. It says that pregnant women can have reasonable accommodations in the workplace, and we can thank the Women's Fund for leading that cause. So I support affordable health care in Rhode Island because it ends years of discrimination, gender discrimination in the healthcare industry. Many of our small businesses here in the state now have access to affordable health care. It ends a lot of suffering and hardship for families. So I want to put people first, and so supporting types of investment I talk about for Rhode Island, planning a budget appropriately will help to take burdens off cities and towns, lowering the tax levels. So that's going to create the wiggle room between what we earn and what we pay, and we support people in that process. Thank you.
Thank you. Clay?
I'd like to thank Tina for her question and for shining a spotlight on rights which I believe are under attack in this state. Caregiver, the ability to provide others is crucial and often falls on the shoulders of women. And state child care assistance has been cut by 80% in this state since 2007. I think that we've moved in the wrong direction in that regard, and that I'm committed to moving in the right direction. I think that has been shown by the organizing of child care workers who have made sure that we are able to provide child care assistance and support them at fair wages. And I think it's been seen in the Temporary Caregiver Insurance, where Rhode Island is a leader, but where this is once again under attack. And I think that we have to stand strong for these programs so that women and others are able to take care of the people that they love, whether it's their children or their parents, and be able to stay in the workforce.
Thank you. Gina?
The answer is yes, absolutely. We have to realize that providing flexibility in the workforce isn't a women's issue. Taking care of families isn't a woman's issue. It's a societal issue. We all have an interest in making sure that our children are cared for and safe and healthy, and have access to education from pre-K all the way through. And I absolutely think we need to do a better job of providing flexible workforces, because not only is it the right thing to do, women represent half of our population, half of our talent pool, half of our productivity, half of our brains, half of the people that are going to solve our problems and make this economy work. And in order to unleash that potential, we have to support them and make workforces flexible and supportive.
Thank you. Angel?
Sure. I thank you, Tina, for her question, and I do support family-oriented policy. I was proud to support the Paid Leave Act and Senator Golden's effort to make it happen. I know that Representatives Samini, Agello, and Tansy are all here, and they were all big supporters as well. I think it's very important that we focus on what can strengthen the family. I think child care is another thing that's extremely important. One thing that I didn't tell you is when I was growing up, my principal child care provider was my sister. She was 7 years older, so that's who took care of me and my brother. ship. And right now, childcare providers, it's a challenging environment, and as governor, I want to do everything I can to make sure that we have affordable childcare, and on top of that as well, that we use those first years of life to make sure that we prepare our kids for school as well. So I absolutely do support family-oriented policy, and I look forward to implementing more as governor.
Thank you, and Ken.
I have a very flexible workplace in my office, whether it's maternity leave or medical leave. I believe that employees are extremely valuable, and you have to accommodate their needs, whatever those needs are. I support the family leave aspect of TDI, but I have a big problem with the TDI program on a larger scale, because the cost of TDI in this state is more expensive than the acquisition of TDI in almost any other state in the country. We pay way too much, our workforce, for the same insurance that we can buy much less expensively in other places. And I believe that it was irresponsible for our legislators to make the addition to the program without fixing the basic problem in the program first. When we fix the TDI program in the state, we put $80 million back into the pockets of working Rhode Islanders who are paying far too much for this insurance relative to